Hi, this is Swan with Swan Amity Studios, and today we're looking at making this simple candy-striped center for one of the blocks we have in the 2022 Summer Scrap Elimination program. In this case, you'll be taking a look at the easy way to get this center for our block from week 6. You can find the link to the blog in the description of this video. And we're getting it out of a simple strip pieced section that we've made. Now these all started 1.5 strips, 1.5 wide, each one of them. We have 8 of those strips and we've pieced them together, pressing towards the darker of the 2 fabrics in every instance. Now that is regardless, doesn't matter which direction you press in, or you can press your seams open, that's just fine too. Once that we've gone ahead and created our setup here, remember we have 8 strips, all starting 1.5 inches, we're going to cut them apart by using our 45-degree angle and lining that up on one of our seams. I'm using it towards the bottom this time, but you absolutely could flip this around and do it from the top. And I'm coming to the point where I can get as far across my shortest little piece here at the top as possible. And that's about it. That's probably where I need to stop. And I'm going to go ahead and make a 45-degree angle cut right across the top there. Go ahead and remove my leftover pieces from the side. And then we're going to see, lining up our ruler on the 2.5 inch mark, how easy it is to go ahead and cut these strips. Just like I was cutting for making bias binding, I would now cut straight across on that 45-degree angle, giving me several strips like this one. Let's cut a second one here. Go ahead and hang on to what looks like these big leftover pieces because they can be combined with some of your other leftovers to give you some more of these bias looking strips. Now once we've cut those, we're going to turn them, and starting at the top, I'm going to be looking to see where my piece ends here at the top, just like that. So as I get started, I just want to use my ruler so that I'm lining up and keeping straight, using one of my straight edge markings all the way up, and then I'm going to drag the ruler down until I get to the point where I can see that little angle of that 45-degree angle at the top, and that's where I want to cut the first piece off. Next, I'm going to turn the piece again and I'm going to measure from this side. These finish at 10 inches if you have made them all the same size. So I'm going to line up my 10-inch marking on my ruler with the side I just cut. And once again, I'm going to use some of my straight line markings on my ruler to make sure that I'm staying square. And that's going to put me on the other end, if I've pressed well, pretty close to the end of the unit. I got just a little bit off there at the end, but that's okay. That will be sucked up in my seam allowance, no problem. And there's one of my pieces. So you can see how we're creating several of those. 10 inches long by 2.5 inches wide to go in the center of our blocks. This prevents you from having to deal with making that candy stripe on the bias and all of the little, unfortunate things that come along with that. Instead, you're doing all of the cutting to get this piece out of that strip set that we created in one go. Really easy, gives you better accuracy. You can see how nice those look, and they're going to go into our 10-inch block just beautifully. Remember, these are 10 inches long by 2.5 inches wide, which means our final block is going to be 9.5 inches long once it goes into the finished quilted project. We hope that you are enjoying the summer scrap elimination as much as we enjoy creating it here. Have fun, bust those scraps with the only elimination diet every quilter needs from Swan Amity Studios.